So I think, if you want to date it back, everything, I feel like I've never been at an ideal like physique or weight, I guess, in my entire life, but I've never like felt self-conscious about it, right? I've always been an athlete. I played sports growing up and was pretty competitive at it. Um, but then when like pandemic hit and then when all these things, I started to notice weight was, putting on in ways that I didn't necessarily want it to. Um, and so I wanted to take a leap of faith and really draw it in and really do something like this. Um, I also tore my ACL and my meniscus. And
Mm.
so I wanted to be back to being an athlete. I wanted to be better at all these things. So I started when I committed to the program, I think I was about like maybe 230 in weight. And I knew I had a goal if I wanted to drop that. And knowing the time frame that I had, I realized like what was realistic in this time frame and everything like that. And Ray was super helpful as far as like knowing, all right, this is what is possible, like scientifically proven to be possible that you're able
Yeah.
to do in this amount of time. And yeah, I'm really happy that I decided to do it because it was more so I achieved results, but also I feel like I've gained habits. And I think those habits will like sustain with me more, even after doing the program, right? And then
Yeah.
those habits just carry on through everything else. But, was feeling definitely lethargic, was feeling, down a little bit. Not depressed or anything like that, but just more so I know what is capable. I know in our first interview we just talked about, if I do ABC, I will achieve XYZ.
Yeah.
And I feel like I did, and I feel like I'm going to continue doing that. So I see my family like and friends, especially friends that I don't see in a while,
Yeah.
and definitely family that I see a little bit. Like I maybe see my family once a month because they're like far out in Illinois or something like that. Um, but then like every time I would see them, they would consistently say, "It's like, are you losing weight? Like you're
Yeah.
looking great, man." I went to a like a hoop session literally yesterday,
Yeah.
seeing this guy that I haven't seen. He was like an uncle of mine. I haven't seen him in years or anything like that.
Yeah.
Looked me up and I was like, "You look great, man." I was like, "Man, I appreciate that." But just like, knowing that, and that's not like, that's obviously like something subtle. Like, that's not why
Yeah.
I go to play basketball, right? That's not why I
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
But just to see the noticings, it just, it feels good, right? It feels good to people. It feels good knowing that people take notice of not just like how you look, but understand. And I think, I hope everybody really understands what it takes it's not easy.
Yeah.
I think initially at that moment in time, it was just more so I'm just like, it was, I definitely looked in the mirror. I'm like, "Ooh, can't do it." I was like, I don't want to. I got life to live.
Yeah.
I got life to live, and I've got things to do. And if not now, then when?
Mm.
Putting in prolonging your goals is something very easy, right? I think I was watching Hard Knocks yesterday. It's the HBO Max documentary that follows football teams, and they're following the Chicago Bears. But there
Yeah.
was a quote there that someone said, like, humans aren't built to be special. Humans are meant to survive. Humans are meant to just, be average.
Yeah.
And that really stuck out to me in like, I guess like everything in my life, right? Whether it be my work, whether it be my relationships, whether it be myself. Um, I knew it was going to be a hard thing.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be uncomfortable. I knew it was going to be difficult to cut down my calories, to go to the gym and push myself,
Yeah.
and to try and get that last rep, right? Um, but like you have to practice what you preach, and I think that the best things in life aren't easy. And so I knew that all right, I'm not going to shy away from this. I'm never one to back down from a challenge, I think, in any aspect of my life.
Yeah.
Um, so it was just really more so that if not now, when? I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah.
Um, and to think, and I don't want to look back on things and with regrets or anything like that. It was helpful to know that I had a job where I could
Yeah.
pay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a service, right? This is a service. But I'm glad to know that this is a service built on a relationship
Yeah.
that I feel like I trust,
Yeah.
right? And that I knew, and obviously I've known you since we were in high school, right?
Yeah.
And I know you as a person. I know you've got a good heart and are about, people, right? And are about like wanting to help. It's very evidently clear. I follow you on Instagram. And so I was just like, like Ray is your marketing at that moment in time, and it's getting better and better. But like,
Yeah.
you're letting people know that, if you do this, like, I got you and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it was more so just like I knew I could afford it, right? Um, because like anyone could say they could have done it on their own, and maybe I could have, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I could, right? But the fact that I was just like, I'm gonna make sure I hold myself accountable by having somebody else hold me accountable to
Yeah.
it. Um, but yeah, it was just more so I was just like I'm ready to feel good. I'm ready to feel
Yeah.
better. Um, and just like I realized that overall quality of life just gets better if you're feeling healthier.
Yeah.
Um, and health is you can define health, like so many people define health as a multitude of things, right?
Yeah.
Um, but just like overall quality of life gets better if you're feeling better.
Yeah.
And with all the things that I've been doing as far as, going to the gym, feeling good about that, eating right,
Yeah.
um, those are all the things there. And I just, figured, I got life to live, and I wanna live it the best that I can and fully and balanced and happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And how was your experience working with me as your coach? And feel free to share the goods, the bads. This is a good way for me to improve as well.
No, absolutely, boss. I think the biggest thing was the accountability aspect
Yeah.
of things, right? Um, in you work with several clients, a lot of clients, right?
Yeah.
And so it's this, you personalize your workouts for them, you personalize their diets for them. But I think the biggest thing was the accountability, and like the accountability of it is in the check-ins and in the texts. It was like, you hitting the gym? It was like, what we doing over here, man? And it was more so just like, all right, I got this person that, believes in me and is just letting me know that, you signed up for this. I'm gonna not let you fail, right?
Yeah.
And whatever fail might mean. He's like, I'm not gonna let you mess up today, right?
Yeah.
And then we're also realizing that we're all human and that mistakes happen, right? Um, Especially with that, when I was feeling specifically, and we talked about it earlier, but I was definitely feeling discouraged at one point where, at one point I got to like 195, right? And that was like feeling great. But then like, let's be real, like life hit hard for me. Like I got super slammed at work. I got, everything was kind of piling on. Um, and then I wasn't locked in for, that moment in time, right? And so, weight kind of gained back on and I was feeling definitely discouraged.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn, like I put in all this work to get there.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'm like, all right, like, it was all for nothing. And
Yeah.
then I talked to you about it, right? And I was just like, yeah, man, I'm gonna be honest, like stepping on that scale was a little, I've been apprehensive about stepping on that scale because I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna get disappointed or sad, right? And then your words of encouragement are just like, man, don't worry about it. Like things happen. If anyone can like get back to it, you can, right? And then I've, over the summer, locking in again and, finding time to myself and really prioritizing myself.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing that I've really come to learn, not just within the program, but just like something that I'm learning more about myself,
Mm.
uh, that I got to prioritize myself.
Yeah.
It's okay to be selfish in that way, right? If that selfish reason, if you're being selfish because you want to take care of your health, like be selfish.
Yeah.
And I think that's, the biggest thing here. But just like that was a big thing for me when you were just like, if you can like you're gonna get there. I
Yeah.
believe in it. And so that was huge. I think that was a really big thing. I really appreciated the fact that I was in this group chat with everybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, like it was seeing, and it was really, really great because it was just like, all right, my phone's blown up because I got all these guys here that are just wanting to do, just working hard, doing all these things. But, shout out one of the other people in the group. I don't want to name drop or anything like that if I'm not allowed, but like shout out somebody in that group that I just see consistently doing it.
Yeah.
Uh, like losing and literally seeing them continuously drop weight, continuously gain muscle. Like that's a super dope thing to see, right?
Yeah.
Because these are people that are just like you, right?
Yeah.
These are people that are trying to do the same exact things as you. And that's not just an accountability thing that you have, but it's in not a responsibility, I would say, but more so so I gotta get my stuff together because look
Yeah.
at all these guys, like what am I doing?
Yeah.
And then so seeing that that's that community of people that you have, um not just in your corner, but you're in all of theirs, right?
Yeah.
That was a really big thing, but really the accountability thing. Just because again, like I feel like anybody could do it, but like to have somebody in your corner
Yeah.
pushing you, challenging you, letting you know, like if it ain't it, but also letting you know when it is it, right? There's that positive reinforcement, but then there's that constructive criticism. Like you
Yeah.
ain't growing out discomfort. And so I feel like there's a good balance that you have with it. And that if anybody ever does this program, they're gonna realize that too. Yeah, yeah. I think overall quality of life just gets better so long as you feel better.
Yeah.
Um, like I'm the person living my life, and if internally I'm not feeling good,
Yeah.
or if I'm feeling lethargic, or if I'm feeling, down, or if I'm feeling lazy and stuff like that, like w where is my like drive to do more things, right? I wouldn't say like I was apprehensive to do things, right? But I'm more inclined um to 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 do more and feel better about it and feel more confident, right? Um I feel like, obviously looks aren't everything, right? But
Yeah.
it do add, right? And so that was always a self-conscious thing that I was, especially growing up with, right?
Mhm.
Never, felt like I was, I would go to school and like see all these athletes with like, all right, well, you guys are demon athletes, so it's crazy. But then I it's just like, but feeling confident that I can, do these things. But yeah, overall quality of life just gets better so long as you're feeling better for a service, and that service is a relationship, accountability, and somebody in your corner.
Yeah.
And I think that's incredibly important, right? Um, so that's what you're paying for here, right? You're paying for somebody to be in your corner and who has your back and is going to keep you on track, right? Um, Adding to that is like you're paying for it, right?
Yeah.
I feel very much comfortable having to like paying for a service like this because I can. I feel good that I can like do that. I'm blessed in life that I, have found balance and I can, again, blessed enough to be able to afford something like this and it helps out, right? I was like, I'm not gonna it's the same reason that if you buy a TV, you're gonna use that TV.
Yeah.
Right? If you're gonna buy an Xbox, you're gonna play that Xbox. I'm
Yeah.
just like, I paid for this and I'm gonna make sure I do it, right? Um, and like again, you talk about it in your stories, and I was like, you had skin in the game. You're more inclined to do the work,
Yeah.
knowing, hey, I paid for this. I'm not gonna let it go to waste because it could have been very easy. It could have been, right? It could have been very easy to just like, all right, well, I just blew all that money and I'm just gonna like coast. I'm like, nope, I paid for that and
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the benefits of it. And the benefits exist because you put in work,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Like, what I'm saying? Like you're not the one going, like you're going to the gym for you, right? You're not going to the gym for me, right? You're not making my meals, right?
yeah.
It's on me, right? And
Yeah.
so it's more so it's this responsibility to yourself, but also your wallet.
Yeah.
Because I'm like I paid for this. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're on the fence about it, do it. Like what would the negatives be? I think, and I can say that like confidently, right? I said like what's the harm that could happen? Like
Yeah.
truly, like what is the harm in taking care of yourself?
Yeah.
Um, right. There really is no harm in it. But I get it from a consumer standpoint. It's, you're paying for a service, just like if you're unsure if you want to buy a TV
Yeah.
or an Xbox, right?
Yeah.
But if this is something you want to dive into, if
Yeah.
this is something where you want to be held accountable, right? You don't pay X, Y, and Z to see something tomorrow in this.
Yeah.
You're paying for um change. You're paying for habits. You're paying for something that's um because the last thing that I see happening is me going back to, where I was, months ago. That is absolutely the last thing that I want to do because I wasn't feeling great then.
Yeah.
Um, so why would I want to go back to feeling not great? And just that like Ray's got your back and he'll work with you. He'll encourage you when you're feeling down. He's got your back. When you're feeling lazy, don't. And then you get it done. So again, can't recommend enough. Ray's good people. And I think that if you take a leap, you're not gonna be disappointed. I can't tell you enough. Like, bro, I appreciate you truly. Like, again, like, anyone could have done it, right? But just to know that, like, you reached out, you hit people up, but just like it means a lot. I really do. Like I really do appreciate everything that you've done for me as far as like holding me accountable, being in my corner, checking in and all that stuff, right? It's a two-way street, right? And I realized that some of my way, I wasn't necessarily responding sometimes, right? Because I was just, getting busy and everything like that, but you kept
Yeah.
at it, right? But man, like truly, I appreciate, the relationship we've built. And again, like especially knowing that, and again, it's a really cool thing. I don't know if you're gonna put this on, but like knowing you in high school and knowing you were about, like, all right, I know
Yeah.
Ray. Ray and I have like mutual friends. Like he's an athlete, he takes care of himself. He's down on all these protein shakes. He's a guy that takes care of himself. And to see
Yeah.
like that vision of like what you did, like from like when I met you when I was a freshman, you were a sophomore, right? And then you went to U of I and you did all of the, personal training there. And then you graduated with your degree and everything like that. And to build a program like this and to see where it started and up like that,
Yeah.
like you give flowers to a lot of people. And I think that's very important, right? But this is me giving flowers to you, bro.
Yeah.
Like truly, it ain't easy to build a business ground up, but you're building a business built upon just helping people.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. So I just want to let you know, and then whoever's watching this know that, raise good people. And so, you take a leap of faith, he'll take care of you. So